this is good. Let's see. So we got Razor Verge Thicket, Prowling Serpropod, Plains, Smothering Tithe, Command Tower, Plains, and a Mace of the Valiant. So we don't have a really aggressive opening hand, as you can see here. The Prowling Serpropod is great if we're playing against blue. The lands are fine. Smothering Tithe is great. Obviously, it's always going to be good in almost any deck. Mace of the Valiant is a card that I'm probably going to remove from this deck at some point. I wish that there was a little bit of ramp, and I wish that the Smothering Tithe and the Mace were actually creatures instead, but let's run it. Let's see what happens, right? So just imagine that right now we're in a pod of 4 people, so it'll go to my turn. Draw a card. Unfortunately, did not draw into a creature. So we'll play the Razor Verge Thicket right away. We got nothing to play this turn, so ship the turn. Back to our turn, so untap, upkeep, draw. We have an Oscillate Pride, so this card's pretty sick. It's a 1-drop creature cat that has first strike and lifelink, and it also has Ascend, which is pretty cool, because in this case, Ascend is if you control 10 or more permanents, you get the City's Blessing, and once you achieve that, at the beginning of your end step, if you gain life this turn, you create a 1/1 white cat creature token. Then if you have the City's Blessing, for each token you control that entered the battlefield this turn, you create a token that's a copy of it. So it's a little bit of an army in a can, I suppose. Anyway, that's enough of an explanation. Let's see. I would do Command Tower for kicks and tap the Razor Verge Thicket to cast Oscillate Pride, which hopefully it's early enough in the game that it'll actually resolve, right? And that's all we can do for this turn, so pass the turn. Comes back to me, untap, upkeep, draw. We drew into a Courser of Gruvix. This is another card that I may or may not end up removing from this deck because it doesn't synergize with Arahbo, because it's a centaur, not a cat. But in a way it is a little bit of card advantage. It's almost like a bit of mana ramp as well. I mean, you're able to look at the top of your library. I know in like landfall mana decks, like that's a card that you're always going to find. So anyway, let's see what we cast next. So I will put down a Plains. I think I'm just gonna go to combat at this point. Yeah, let's do that. So I will move to combat. At the beginning of combat, Arahbo's Eminence ability will kick in, and it says here at the beginning of combat on your turn, if Arahbo Roar of the World is in your command zone, or on the battlefield, another target cat you control gets +3/+3 until end of turn. It also has the second bit here, but I won't go into that unless we actually cast Arahbo. So I'm going to use that Eminence ability to give Oscillate Pride +3/+3 until end of turn. So now Oscillate Pride has +3/+3. It is not counters, it's just gaining the +3/+3. And then I will move to combat, swing at my opponent that is the most exposed, or is the most threatening in this case. Swing at them for a combined total of 4 with first strike and lifelink. Let me get my life counter here. So we're at 40. With a little bit of math, we'll go up to 44. Keep that right there, just for reference. Let's see. So I played a land for the turn. What direction do we want to go in? Again, it's very situational, right? I'm tempted to cast this sword, then just cast the sword. I'm gonna cast the Sword of Sinew and Steel. Equipped creature gets +2/+2 and has protection from black and from red. Whenever a quick creature deals combat damage to a player, you destroy up to one target planeswalker and up to one target artifact. So I'll attach that to the Oscillate Pride. And I will ship my turn. So then my turn again, we are going to untap, upkeep, nothing happens, and draw a card. Okay, so I've drawn into another creature. This is the Kutzil Malamute Exemplar. I kind of have some cards in here that are geared at fighting against counter spells and interaction like that because my friends tend to all play blue. So, you know, Celestia deck versus all these kind of high-powered blue-black variant decks. It can be kind of challenging sometimes. So, Kutzil Malamute Exemplar says that your opponents can't cast spells during your turn, which is awesome. And then whenever one or more creatures you control, each with power greater than its base power, deals combat damage to a player, you draw a card. So, you know, that's potential card draw, I suppose, but I will play a land for the turn before I forget. Actually, you know what? I didn't have enough mana to attach the sword, so my apologies for that. So this turn, what do we do? Do we just attach the sword? Yeah, why not? Let's say that everyone is having kind of a slow start to their game, right? So turn 4, gonna attach the Sword of Sinew and Steel. So now our cat is a 3/3, so it's starting to get a little bigger. I'm gonna go to combat. Again, the Eminence ability is going to target the Oscillate Pride. It's gonna give it +3/+3, so right now it's currently a 1/2/3, it's a 3/3, getting an additional +3/+3, so it'll be a 6/6. And I will swing again at my opponent that is most likely open or has a creature that they don't want to lose. Or even if they block, hey, I'm still gaining 6 life. So I'm going to swing. Let's say my opponent doesn't block, they take 6. Or they do block. I'm going to gain 6 life. So I will go up to 50. Gotta make sure my math is right. Math was definitely not my forte in school. I'm probably playing the wrong game for that, I guess. Anyway, I don't have anything else that I can play right now, so I'll ship the turn. Untap. Upkeep, draw. So we missed a land and have a Prowling Veladar. Now, it might be time to deploy this Curse of Kruvix to try and get some more lands. That's one thing with my current list is I kind of want to add some more mana ramp. I need to add some more mana ramp because I tend to run into issues with that. So we will tap a green, a white, and a green for a Cursor of Kruvix. So now that cursor's out, you play with the top card of your library revealed. And I can play lands from the top of my library. So we got pretty lucky here that this is a Canopy Vista, so I can in fact play it. So I will play a Canopy Vista that will enter untapped because I control 2 or more basic lands. That's neat. Gotta remember that Course of Kruvix makes it so top land is visible. Unfortunately, I don't have much else to cast. Well, it can move to combat. Now I gotta just check really quick because this is at the beginning of your end step. Okay, the Ascend is end step, so we will go to combat. Arahbo Striker again. This turns into a 6/6. First strike and vigilance. Swinging at an opponent. Go up to 56. incentivized to attack for sure. Also, I missed this. Whenever land enters the battlefield under control, you're going to gain 1 life, so I'm going to gain 1 life off the cursor. And that's the end of my turn, so I'll ship the turn. Turn comes back to me. Untap. Upkeep, nothing happens. I'll draw my Arch of Arahbo. I have this in here just because I have, well, we're running only 2 colors. And yes, this does tap for colorless, but I wanted to have that card draw ability because, again, every single deck needs card draw, and there is plenty of green card draw, but some of it's kind of expensive. Anyway, Arch of Arahbo is going to go to my hand. Going to show the top card of my library. So now I can make some decisions here. I can, let's see, I can play the Arch if I want to. I can play the planes from the top of my library. I guess I'm not sure what the best decision is there, but I'm doing pretty good with mana. So let's first, well, examine the board state, see what everyone else is doing. Let's get to combat. Man, this Mace of the Valiant isn't very good. I'm gonna definitely get out of this deck now that I'm looking at it, but alright. Let's do a Prowling Veladar. We'll cast that in the second main phase, so for the land for the turn, we'll play the plains, dig a little deeper into the deck. Another plains. I'll gain a life off of the cursor of Gruvix trigger. Go to 58. Oh wow, I played that wrong. Okay. Reading the card explains the card. Let's reverse a little bit. So we'll go to 57. Put this back on top. And this is the reason that we goldfish. It's something that I recommend for everyone because it kind of helps you sequence your turns. And you're not under the pressure of playing with other people, so. But in this case, I want to make sure I'm giving you guys like the best information that I can, so. Let's not play a land yet. Let's go to combat. Swing in with the Onslaught Pride. It's going to get the Eminence ability, so it's going to be hitting in for 6. So we'll gain 6, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll go to 63. Neat. And then I'm going to pay 4 mana total and put down a Prowling Veladar. Prowling Veladar is a cat that's a 2/3, has a vigilance, and whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, you put a +1/+1 counter on it. That's the reason that I reversed the play there. I want to play the land after the Prowling Veladar is on the battlefield so I can get that landfall, so I will play the land for the turn off of the Cursor of Gruvix. Reveal the top, it's another plains. I will gain my 1 life. And I will put a +1/+1 counter on Prowling Veladar. Neat. Again, I am not left with much else to do here, so I'll ship the turn. But, gotta remember the Ascend check. So I have, let's see again, Ascend is 10 or more permanents. Okay, so I currently have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Awesome, so I have exactly 10 permanents on the battlefield, and I would be getting the City's Blessing. Here we go. There it is. Okay, cool. I'm just gonna set this over here. So we do have, well, I'll place it here. We do have the City's Blessing, which now activates that second half. So beginning of your end step, if you gain City's Blessing. Oh, okay, I've been playing that wrong. Okay. See, this is why it's good to test this out. Okay, so apologies. I've been playing this card wrong. So what happens here is at the beginning of your end step, if you gain life this turn, you create a 1/1 white cat creature token. Then if you have the City's Blessing, you make a copy of it. So I mean, it's how many turns in? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So technically, I would have 6 cats. And then I just got the City's Blessing, so then I would get more cats, but since I missed that. But I have the City's Blessing. We'll create 1 cat. And then we will create a copy of the cat. And there's nothing else to play. Well, I suppose I could have attacked with the Prowling Volador too, because he has Vigilance, which is kind of neat. As you can tell, I don't get too many reps with this deck, unfortunately. I should play it more often. I feel like it's got a lot of potential. So I'm glad that we're playing it now. Let's see. So yes, it would have made sense to have attacked with the Prowling Volador. They got the +1/+1 off of the planes coming in. Gotta check the board state here. Okay, I think that's it for the turn. So then we untap. The top card is still being shown to the rest of the table off of the cursor graphics effect. So I will draw planes for the turn, revealing a forest. So now we're getting a little mana-blooded. Untap everything. And look at our hand here. So it's Mothering Tithe. You know, depending on what's going on, I would play it. But in this case, we have so much mana. We know that there's more mana coming. It's probably not a big deal. So if I do want to get some more card draw, I could play the Arch of Araska. I do have enough permanents out where, well, now I have the City's Blessing, so I'm able to pay 5 and draw a card if I really want to. Now, I have a tendency of really trying to play stuff on the second main phase, always playing a land on the first, right? So just gotta make sure that your sequencing is correct. I think in this case, I will play a land from the top of my library. So I'll put down a forest. Then I got 2 triggers that go off here, so I will gain my 1 point of life. And then I will put an additional +1/+1 counter on the Prowling Volador, which is neat. Volador's Sovereign is sick because it's like a win condition in itself, and we're at so much mana, that's probably how we would end up winning this. Although we don't really have any spells that are defensive, unfortunately. I suppose if I know that Volador Sovereign's on top, and if I want a cheeky win with it, then I should probably cast Prowling Serpapod. Let's go to combat. So I will throw, let's see, 6 and 4, so total of 10 at my opponents here. I will gain the 6, so I'll go to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'll go to 71. And then remember this guy's trigger here. Beginning of your end step, you gain life this turn. Actually, you know what? I'm No, it's not that far. It's kind of funny, actually. Okay, so at the beginning of your end step, if you gain life, this turn you create a 1/1 white cat creature token. So that happens at your end step no matter what. It does not happen when you gain life. Okay, so I am playing it correctly. Alright. Anyway, I attacked with the cat. I attacked with my other cat. Damage has been done to everyone. I would probably leave these two cats up just as blockers, right? I'm thinking I'm going to cast Prowling Serpapart now. So I would. Let's go green and. Well, I need 2 green, unfortunately. Let's do 2 green and a white. And we will cast the Prowling Serpapod. So he can't be countered, and now creature spells I control can't be countered either, which is awesome. So now we'll do this correctly. At the end of my turn, so at the beginning of my end step, this checks to see if I gain life this turn, which I did. I gained life off of the Oslo Pride attacking and the Curse of Kruvik saw land enter. So I'm at 71. I do have the City's Blessing, so in this case, I'm going to create another 1/1. And then the second half goes off where it says, if you have the City's Blessing, for each token you control that entered the battlefield this turn, you create a token that's a copy of it. So create an additional cat. So now I have 4 1/1s. So as you can see, the deck right now, I mean, it's cooperating with us. Obviously, it would have been a bit nicer if we would have had Onslaught Pride as like a turn 1 play, you know, just to start getting in the beat down of 4/4 plus creating those cats. But I think we're in a pretty decent position. So now we're potentially threatening. We have a potential win condition here. So obviously, like, I have Felidar offered in here as, I mean, kind of a flavor win. 4/6, which is lifelink that gets +3/+3 off of Arahbo and becomes a what? What is that for? 5, 6, 7, 6, 7, 9. So it's a formidable creature, and it has lifelink, and it has that win condition attached. So go around the table, back to me. We will untap, check the upkeep. Nothing happens at our upkeep, and then we'll draw. So we're drawing into that Felidar Sovereign. There's a Heroic Intervention that's up next. I kind of wish I had a way to draw into that, because that would save me from a board wipe if I wanted to put down the Felidar Sovereign. I suppose I could have put down this Exemplar. Whenever one or more creatures you control, each with power greater than its base power, deals combat damage to a player, you draw a card. Okay, so that seems like a pretty good move here, actually. I probably should have played that earlier. Now, I will play a land for the turn, so we'll put down a Plains. Triggers a Cursor, triggers a Prowling Felidar. This guy gets a +1/+1. I will gain a life. Let's put down the... what do we want to put down here? Let's put down the Cutzel. I'll put him down in the first main phase, because I want to make sure I get that card draw. So, whenever one or more creatures you control, each with power greater than its base power, which in this case, it's currently sitting at as a 3/3, so its power will be greater than its base power, and the same thing with the Prowling Felidar. Although it says whenever one or more creatures you control with power greater than its base power deals combat damage to a player, you draw a card. So the way that I'm interpreting that is, and correct me if I'm wrong, correct me in the comments, is that doesn't matter the amount of creatures that connect, that deal 6 off that. Alright, so now that I've done damage, okay, I gained my life. Attack with that. This is a trigger on the stack now, so I'm going to draw a card. So I will draw my heroic intervention. Nice bit of protection there. We have some removal coming up the next turn. I'm gonna go to my end step. I have the City's Blessing, and I will create a 1/1 cat. So I will create a cat, and then I will make a copy of every token that came into play. So it'll go to 5. This card is really tricky. It's giving me a lot of heck right now. It's kind of funny, actually. Alright, so cat there. So now we have a potential win condition in like 2 turns. We still have this maze. We still have this Mothering Tithe, but again, I'm not playing it right now just because we have plenty of lands. Although, perhaps it would have made sense, in hindsight, to put this Mothering Tithe down. Because then I could have gotten to the Veladar Sovereign earlier. I guess, yeah. Oh, maybe I was just trying to go the aggro route. It's funny, I didn't know that the game was going to play out like this either, but here we are. Alright, well, I probably should have played this Mothering Tithe earlier, makes sense. I kind of feel like these types of cards, like the Heuristic Studies, this Mothering Tithes, these kind of like universal, like, I don't know, kind of game-changing cards are great to run out there right away. Although, when you are playing against 3 other players, it could just get blown up, so. Alright, let's see. Well, all of that talking about this Mothering Tithe, I think I'm just going to cast it. Should I cast it or should I not cast it? I can get completely blown out. But then the question is, does it matter if I get blown out at this point? Because I have my win con in Veladar Sovereign. I could also just attack. I'm at 78 life too. So, we find ourselves in a very interesting position here. I had the option to also cast Arahbo on my main phase and then gone to combat and done a lot more damage off of the Arahbo. But I'm gonna stick to my plays here. I'm gonna stick to my guns. I'm gonna play a Smothering Tithe. If I leave a green up, I can fake maybe like a Veil of Summer or something potentially. So, okay, I'll play a Smothering Tithe. Let's say that the turn goes around the table and no one decided to play or pay for the Smothering Tithe. So now I have 3 additional mana there, which is sweet. So I will untap. Go to my upkeep. Check to see if there's anything with my upkeep. Nothing happens. I will draw my card for the turn. Got a Cleansing Nova on deck. And again, I'm revealing the top of my library because of the Curse of Grufix. Okay, so we'll play the Arch Veraska, which is active due to the City's Blessing. So I will gain 1 life off of the Curse of Grufix trigger, so I'll go to 79. So I've already gained a life this turn. So Oscillate Bride's ability will go off at the end of turn, even if I don't attack with them. So, but we might as well attack. Also, with that landfall, we got the Prowling Veladar trigger. So now Prowling Veladar is a 6/7. Wow, he's getting pretty big with vigilance. Alright, this board is starting to get kind of intense. this deck. I should probably pick it up. Because I'm pretty sure Creator Elf got reprinted in Dragonstorm, Dark Year Dragonstorm. Anyway, combat, so Prowling Veladar, Oslet Pride, target the Oslet Pride with the Arahbo for 3/3. So this guy's going to hit for 6. This guy's going to also hit for 6. So 12 damage total. I'm going to gain 12 off of the lifelink, or 6 off of the lifelink. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Go to 85. And then this guy's trigger goes off because a creature that I control, which is this one, that both have power greater than its base power, deals combat damage to player, draw a card, so I'm going to draw a Cleansing Nova. And we have a Wrath of God coming up. Let's see here. What's the right play? Well, this game's got to end eventually, right? So we'll do a Veladar Sovereign. I'll pay the 3. 4, 5, 6. So I'll do 3 white there, and I need another 3 of any color. So I'll do the Arch and these 2 planes. I just want to make sure that I'm not tapping like the duels, just so that I have access to more colors. So we'll play the Veladar Sovereign, keeping in mind that we do have the Heroic Intervention because it will most likely get destroyed. Now, risky position because I could win at the beginning of my upkeep. But if I'm facing 3 people, there's 3 chances of removal. But let's say it goes to player 2, and then it goes to player 3. Player 3 attempts a board wipe. I'm gonna hit them with one of these. Throw down a Heroic Intervention, giving all of my stuff hexproof and indestructible. Let's say that only one person decided to not pay this. I'm gonna have 1 mana there. Perfect. So Heroic Intervention resolves. And then I'm gonna move to my turn. I'm going to untap. And here I'm gonna definitely check at my upkeep to make sure I'm not missing anything, right? So nothing here, nothing there. But the Veladar Sovereign. So this trigger will go on the stack. Beginning of your upkeep, if you have 40 or more life, you win the game. In this case, I have 85 life, and I have won the game basically off of just Oslet Pride, which I would highly recommend adding if you have any sort of cat tribal or cat dog tribal deck or anything like that. But that is me attempting to play this deck, which I don't have too many reps with because I don't play it a whole lot anymore, but it is pretty fun. A lot of triggers to remember. There's a lot of sequencing here. I definitely should have played the Smothering Tithe earlier. Now I have a better understanding of how Oslet Pride works, which is awesome. And really, Course of Kruvix actually did a lot of work in this game, so maybe it's fine to run a couple, utility creatures that aren't cats. I want to keep the deck flavorful, but I also want to have an opportunity to win the game if I can help it. Prowling Serpapard, being able to essentially make all of my creatures uncounterable is excellent, because people are going to try to counter this Veladar Sovereign. Cutsil coming in, again, fading counter spells have some redundancy here, which is cool. And the additional card draw was actually really nice too. I was able to kind of, make all of this happen, which is neat. So, anyway, that was a little bit of my kind of rusty gameplay with Arahbo Roar of the World. Check him out. He's an older commander from the Commander 2017 pre-cons. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please feel free to leave a like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments what your favorite creature type is. I'd be see